The air in St. Jude's Hospital on a late Tuesday night hummed with a familiar low thrum, the steady pulse of machinery, the distant murmur of voices, the quiet rhythm of life and death unfolding. For Sarah, a veteran nurse on the night shift, these sounds were a lullaby, a backdrop to her quiet rounds. She navigated the dimly lit corridors, her footsteps soft against the linoleum, a silent guardian in the hushed hours. But tonight, that familiar symphony was interrupted. It began subtly, a faint rhythmic tapping that seemed to rise above the general hum. Sarah paused by the nurse's station, listening intently. Tap, tap, tap. It wasn't the erratic drip of a leaky faucet, nor the shift of the building settling. This was deliberate, too deliberate. She frowned, trying to pinpoint its origin. The sound seemed to emanate from the deeper, colder parts of the hospital, specifically the area leading towards the morgue. A cold prickle ran down her spine, a sensation not entirely unfamiliar in her line of work, but one she usually dismissed as an overactive imagination or a trick of the night. Still, the tapping persisted, steady and insistent. Tap, tap, tap. It felt too distinct to ignore. As a nurse, Sarah had seen her share of the inexplicable, the things medical science couldn't quite account for. But those were usually moments of strange recoveries or profound premonitions. This was different. This sound felt purposeful, and it was coming from the one place in the hospital that should be utterly, profoundly silent. With a strange knot of dread and duty coiling in her stomach, Sarah began to walk, her pace slow and deliberate. Each step brought her closer to the metallic chill of the morgue hallway. The tapping grew clearer, louder, echoing slightly in the sterile space. It wasn't a loud bang, not a frantic scratching. It was a measured, almost polite knock, and it was undeniably coming from inside one of the refrigerated compartments. Sarah stopped before the row of gleaming stainless steel doors. Her breath misted slightly in the cool air. The third compartment from the left, that was it. The knocking came from within it, a clear, unmistakable thump, thump, thump against the metal from the inside. Her mind raced through every logical explanation. Had a staff member been accidentally locked in? Impossible. These units were sealed from the outside. Was it some kind of mechanical malfunction? A pipe dislodged? But the rhythm was too distinct, too human. What if? A tiny, irrational voice whispered. What if someone was still alive? It was a horrifying, almost unthinkable thought in a morgue, but it was enough to make her heart pound. Her professional training, her deep-seated duty to life, compelled her forward, even as every instinct screamed at her to run. Taking a deep, shaky breath, Sarah reached out a gloved hand and grasped the heavy handle of the third morgue fridge. The cold metal bit into her palm. For a moment, she hesitated, her eyes fixed on the door, half expecting it to burst open, half dreading what she might find. The knocking ceased. Complete silence descended, even heavier than before. She twisted the handle and pulled. The heavy door swung open smoothly, revealing the dimly lit interior of the compartment. Sarah peered inside, her eyes adjusting to the low light. It was empty. Completely, utterly empty. No body bag, no person, not even a single piece of equipment. Just the clinical white walls of the chilling compartment, nothing more. A wave of disorienting relief washed over her, quickly followed by a profound sense of confusion. If it was empty, what had been making the knocking sound? Had she imagined it? Had the sleepless night shift finally gotten to her? Then her gaze fell upon something small, tucked neatly into the far corner of the empty compartment. It was a single, folded piece of paper, stark white against the gray interior. Her heart gave a peculiar lurch. With trembling fingers, Sarah reached in and carefully picked up the note. It was a standard hospital memo pad sheet, no distinguishing marks. Slowly, she unfolded it. Scrawled across the paper in a neat, almost elegant handwriting were just 5 words. "Thanks for letting me out." The air seemed to thicken around her. The metallic chill of the morgue was suddenly nothing compared to the ice that spread through her veins. The world tilted slightly on its axis. The note wasn't a prank. It wasn't a hallucination. It was a message from inside a locked morgue fridge that had been inexplicably knocking and was now inexplicably empty. Sarah stood there for what felt like an eternity, the note clutched in her hand, the open, empty fridge before her. Her mind, so accustomed to logic and medical facts, struggled to reconcile what she had just experienced. Who or what had been in there, and where had it gone? The implications were chilling, stretching the very fabric of reality she understood. In the days that followed, Sarah reported the incident. Security footage from the hallway showed her approaching the morgue, opening the fridge, and her visible reaction. But it showed no one else, no one entering the morgue area. The administration, pragmatic as ever, concluded it was a highly elaborate, if nonsense, prank by a disgruntled staff member, or perhaps a hallucination brought on by fatigue. The note was dismissed as part of the prank. But Sarah knew. She knew the steady, insistent knocking. She knew the profound emptiness of the compartment. And she knew the disarming simplicity of those 5 words. The experience left an indelible mark on her, a quiet, unsettling awareness that there are mysteries in this world that defy all explanation, all logic. As a nurse, she dealt with life and death every day, but this incident stretched the boundaries of what she believed possible, reminding her that sometimes the most profound encounters are also the most inexplicable. It was a reminder that even in the most sterile and scientific environments, the veil between what we know and what we don't can be surprisingly thin. And so, the morgue fridge remains, sometimes filled, sometimes empty. But for Sarah, it holds a silent, chilling secret, a mystery whispered by an empty compartment and a single, enigmatic note. What would you do if you found yourself in Sarah's shoes? Have you ever experienced something truly unexplainable? Something that lingered in your mind long after it happened? We'd love to hear your thoughts and stories in the comments below. If you found this story intriguing, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more tales that explore the strange and wonderful corners of our world. Until next time, stay curious and perhaps keep an ear out for the unexpected.